Welcome to SavingsBonds.com's Top 5 Costly Savings Bond Mistakes. I'm Jackie Brainy, your Marketing Director at SavingsBonds.com, the #1 site for savings bond consumer information. If you own savings bonds, you probably realize that purchasing savings bonds is pretty easy. However, knowing how to avoid the costly mistakes associated with owning savings bonds can be a bit of a challenge. SavingsBonds.com, we've identified the top 5 costly mistakes most bond owners make, and we'll even give you insider knowledge on how to avoid them. Here we go. Number 5, failure to report interest income on tax returns even if the bond wasn't cashed in. When savings bonds reach final maturity, regardless if you cash them in, the IRS requires that you report the total interest earned on your tax return in the year that the bond reaches its final maturity. To know when your bonds have reached final maturity, it's easy. Check out the dates on a complimentary SavingsBonds.com bond inventory report, and you'll quickly learn important maturity dates and total interest earned amounts for each one of your bonds. To obtain a complimentary savings bond inventory report, go to SavingsBonds.com and click on the Calculate My Bonds. Number 4, failure to designate or update proper co-owners or beneficiaries on bonds. Make sure your bonds are properly registered with the correct co-owners or beneficiaries, such as family members or children, so upon your or your co-owner's passing, the bonds will go to the right people and help avoid messy and sometimes expensive probate situations. Checking and updating your bond information now can help avoid a lot of headaches and expensive legal fees later for your spouse and heirs. Number 3, randomly cashing in bonds, not knowing interest posting or anniversary date. Costly mistakes often occur for bond owners by randomly cashing in bonds that can easily be avoided. Also, by not knowing important dates, you could lose up to 6 months worth of interest by cashing in bonds just one day too soon. Know the next interest posting date to avoid forfeiture of interest, which is displayed on your complimentary Savings Bond Inventory Report. Remember, obtaining the color-coded unique bond inventory report is free. Yes, I said free. Remember, bonds must be held for at least 1 year unless there is a government-declared emergency, such as a fire or flood or natural disaster. And you will lose up to 3 months of interest if you cash in bonds prior to the 5th year anniversary of that bond. Remember, check your complimentary bond inventory report for the age and maturity dates of your savings bond. Number 2, holding on to bonds that have stopped earning interest. Did you know there are approximately $15 billion worth of matured savings bonds that are no longer earning any interest, and bond owners like you haven't cashed them in? If you own older savings bonds, you could be sitting on your own personal gold mine. Don't give Uncle Sam an interest-free loan. And finally, number 1, don't just run down to the bank and cash in all your bonds at once until you know the facts. One of the biggest mistakes bond owners make is just cashing in all their savings bonds at once. Depending on the value of the bonds and the total interest earned, that could be a big mistake. Cashing in savings bonds without knowing the facts could create financial hardship for you, especially if you're a senior. It could affect your Social Security benefits. Or if you have a large amount of bonds, it could affect your tax structure. Know your values before you cash in so you don't create financial hardship for yourself. It's not hard to become savings bond smart and avoid costly mistakes. You just need to know some basic facts which are easily obtained on a savings bond inventory report. It's really not rocket science. By just being aware of the 5 costly mistakes, you'll be happy knowing you'll be keeping more money in your pocket and be an instant savvy savings bond investor. So here's a review of the top 5 mistakes that cost uninformed bond owners millions of dollars every year, and we want to help you avoid them. If you own savings bonds, you need a report. Go to savingsbonds.com/calc. Again, savingsbonds.com/calc.